UIM F1H2O World Powerboat Championship returned to China for the UIM F1H2O Grand Prix of Liuzhou, round 4 of the 2017 season. Liuzhou is one of the most picturesque and iconic corners of China. Situated in Guangxi Province, Liuzhou is remarkable for its stunning natural beauty, unique topography, lush scenery, and the karst-dotted landscape that makes this a truly special destination, attracting tourists and visitors from far and wide all year round. Liuzhou has a history that goes back thousands of years, with a rich and rooted culture and tradition. But Liuzhou is also a big, bustling, modern metropolis of 3 million inhabitants, a center of modern industry and commerce, with a sophisticated and dynamic young population that has its sights set on the future without forgetting the heritage of its past. Liuzhou is a city of lights, as skyscrapers soar in the city center, and hotels, cafes, boutiques, restaurants, bars, and nightclubs come alive day and night in a 24-hour kaleidoscope of colors and movement. Liuzhou hosted its 10th UIM F1H2O Grand Prix, raced on the 68th National Day of the People's Republic, as an ancient nation celebrated by flocking to the shores of the mighty River Liu to enjoy the world's most prestigious powerboat racing series, contested to the backdrop of the region's stunning natural beauty. Now let's take a look at what happened in the previous round. Round 3 was in Harbin, China, which hosted its second consecutive UIM F1H2O Grand Prix. And what a historic Grand Prix it was! Team Sweden's Eric Stark won a dramatic pole position in the BRM official qualifying, in which Sami Celio suffered a dramatic barrel roll, uninjured, but having to race a spare boat for the Grand Prix. Stark got his race off to a perfect start in pole, taking the lead right off the pontoon despite the challenge from Thani Al-Khamzi. The veteran from Team Abu Dhabi gave chase for 16 laps when the yellow flag came up as Marit Stromoy took out 2 buoys, resulting in her disqualification. Stark made no mistakes on the restart, holding off Al-Khamzi, but it was Ahmed Al-Hamali who made the most of the yellow flag bunch-up to overtake Alex Carella and his teammate Sean Torrente, moving him up from 5th position to 3rd behind his former teammate Al-Khamzi. Torrente's luck ran out on lap 22, forced to retire with engine failure, while Philippe Chiappe had a quiet race, trailing the lead boats in 5th position behind Alex Carella in 4th. With Sami Celio also having retired on lap 8, Stark knew this was his chance as he held on and produced a faultless drive, keeping his nerve against Al-Khamzi to produce a maiden F1H2O win in his 22nd Grand Prix race. That makes him the newest member of the Elite Grand Prix Winners Club. Al-Khamzi runner-up, Al-Hamali on the podium in 3rd, followed by Carella and Chiappe. The win in Harbin catapulted Stark to 3rd place in the World Championship standings, tied with Philippe Chiappe on 27 points. Alex Carella remained on top with 38 points after round 3, Celio dropping to 2nd, and Al-Hamali completing the top 5. 2017 has been one of the most tightly contested seasons yet. 9 teams and 19 drivers from 12 countries were in Liuzhou for round 4 as the season hit the halfway mark. All eyes were on the home team, CTIC F1 Shenzhen China team, and the 3-time consecutive and defending world champion Philippe Chiappe of France. Chiappe and the team is under pressure after a DNF and a 5th, recurring electrical problems, and now switching to their new boat. It's make or break time for CTIC.
We had good result in Harbin, and the championship we have 11 points. It for sure. It's a pressure, and we do make a good result on this race.
In Schiap's way stands Alex Carella of Team Abu Dhabi, who now sits atop the world standings. The Italian ace has not been able to break Schiap's hold on the world title in 3 years, but he's back on top of his game, in fine form all season, and backed by a very good team, with his exceptional teammate Thani Al-Kamzi, and led by 10-time world champion Guido Capellini. Eric Stark is the man of the hour, and everyone is looking to see whether the 29-year-old from Team Sweden can repeat his maiden win in Harbin with another win in Liuzhou. Will he be able to keep his cool to continue his title hopes in 2017? He'll be racing with 5-time Grand Prix and former China Grand Prix winner Jonas Anderson. It's been an up-and-down season for Victory Team, Torrente having a disappointing time of it, just 12 points earned by the midway mark of the year. But his teammate Ahmed Al-Hamali has been in fine form with a 4th place finish in Evian, followed by a podium 3rd place in Harbin. He wants to keep that momentum. After that barrel roll in qualifying in the last round in Harbin, Sami Celio of Mad Croc Baba Racing Team faced a tough task to have his favorite race boat repaired in time. Despite being second in the world standings going into Liuzhou, the 4-time China Grand Prix winner knew he had his work cut out for him.
After the last race, of course, we came here a little bit early to Liuzhou to repair my boat. We was lucky to be able to fix the boat. It was hard crash there in Harbin, and now the boat is fixed. We went through all the stuff in the boat. Everything looks good. Boat was running today, so everything should be fixed.
Also in the mix in this highly talented field of drivers were the likes of Duarte Benavente in 7th place in the world standings, Grand Prix winner Marit Stromoy, Blaze Team's Bartek Marsalek, and 11-time Grand Prix winner Francesco Cantando. The 2.02-kilometer circuit on the River Liu is a technical one with strong currents, featuring 5 left turns and a tricky right-hander.
The course here in Liuzhou is actually really fun. It's one of my favorite courses to drive on. It's really technical, which I like, and it's usually pretty smooth, so it's fast. But also, you also have to fight the weather here because it's so humid here. It kills the horsepower of the engine. So once again, it makes the course really technical for the driver to get the most out of the boat without as much power as you normally would have.
It's an awesome course. It actually reminds me of Abu Dhabi. You know, the water's a bit dead here, but it's fun when we're getting a lot of time in the boat. It's all just learning for us as a new team.
Propeller design is paramount in Formula One these days. Not only does it act as a form of gearing, but also it acts as the final propulsion, a little bit like a tyre is on a racing car. Now, propellers, as you can see, come in all shapes and sizes, and these depend on the type of circuit you're going to be running on. For instance, this type of propeller, on a long circuit where you're looking for top speed, you'll run a propeller with bigger blade area from here to here, and also a slightly more of a cupping on it. So that will not give you quite so much acceleration, but a lot more top end. And on a shorter circuit with lots of corners, again, what you're doing is you're cutting down the size of the propeller and the pitch is smaller. And by that, it means you've got more acceleration, a little bit less speed, but you're going to get around the circuit that much quicker. Now, there's 2 methods in the propeller design, the manufacture of the propeller. You have basically a propeller that is cast and then machine finished afterwards, or in this case, this propeller is actually made from a piece of forged metal. So it comes as a block, and then you have a special machine, it's called a CNC machine, and it actually cuts from that block that identical shape. So if you have a forged propeller, it is obviously more expensive, but it does mean that all the size of each blade is perfect, and you can fine-tune them a lot better to suit the boat.
BRM official qualifying would be contested over 3 sessions, the field reduced to 12 in Q1, then down to 6 in Q2. In Q3, those 6 boats would have the course of themselves with 2 laps each to lay down the fastest time in a bid for pole position.
For me today is more than 50% of the championship. Take the pole here and we give it all and let's see what happens today.
In Q1, Harbin pole and race winner Eric Stark came out all guns blazing, laying down a fast time. But there was drama at the back as Grant Trask of F1 Atlantic team just managed to squeeze in an 11th position at the expense of his teammate Duarte Benavente, who was out in Q1. Mike Shimura of Emirates Racing Team did well, qualifying in 12th and edging out Philip Morin of CTIC F1 Shenzhen, China, as well as Philip Roms of Mad Croc Baba. Also unable to make the Q2 cut were Blaze Performance drivers Francesco Cantando and Bartek Marszalek, and Maverick F1 drivers Cedric Deguin and Amaury Jassom. In Q2, Sean Torrente was uncharacteristically off the pace, struggling 2 seconds behind the lead pace setters Shiap, Alhamali, Carella, and Stark.
Story of my year. This time it was a trim pump failure, so we add that to the list.
Team Abu Dhabi's young driver Rashid Al Kamzi was in his first ever Q2, going strong in 8th, but he was unable to crack the top 6. Sammy Celio was pushing hard and he barrel rolled. It was a huge crash, barrel rolling in the air, his second qualifying crash in a row, leaving question marks for the race all over the 2-time world champion from Finland.
Pushing maximum and then suddenly was the, again, bad wave there, and when you're pushing maximum sometimes it happens, and now it happened second time to me, and then I barrel rolled, so that's it.
Also out in Q2 was Mike Shimura, Grant Trask, and Thani Al-Kamzi. Although Jonas Anderson qualified for Q3, his boat broke down at the end of Q2, which meant Marit Stromoy would be up next, having qualified for Q3 in 5th. She got in a good lap, but it was not much quicker than her Q2 time. Next out was Eric Stark. He set down a blazing lap, beating his former teammate's time by nearly a second to take provisional pole.
Yeah, I'm happy. Like, it was the maximum I think we could do, so let's see what the other guys do.
Stark was followed by Alex Carella. The Italian has won 13 pole positions in his career, and he went out with pole in his sights again. It was a beautiful run. The Italian brilliant when he's on his game. What a time, 44.72, breaking his own fastest time of the weekend as he took provisional pole. Carella was followed by Ahmed Al-Hamali, the Emirati putting in a good lap, but unable to beat either Carella's or Stark's fastest lap. Last out was Q2's fastest man, Philip Shiap. The pressure was on, with the local crowd's hopes pinned on the Frenchman. He knew just how important it was to have pole position going into the race. He pushed with all he had for the first lap, but it was no good, not even able to beat his Q2 time. On his second lap, it's also frustration for the Frenchman, finishing in 5th position behind Stromoy. Alex Carella claims the 14th pole position win of his career, and the world standings leader is in prime position for the Grand Prix of Liuzhou.
The number 1 here for sure is really good today for me, for the team. I will try everything for make it tomorrow.
With the drama, stress, and pressure of a day's racing behind them, the UIM F1H2O family enjoyed hospitality the Chinese way at the gala dinner as drivers, crews, and their families got to relax and unwind. The 4th round of the year would be raced in intense tropical heat, posing a serious challenge on drivers both physically and mentally, as thousands flocked to the banks of the Liu River to watch the 10th Grand Prix of Liuzhou unfold. Can Shiap bounce back from 2 disappointing rounds with the local support?
The pressure is for the championship because it's not good things. We do fight for the victory for sure.
Would Carella use his pole advantage to extend his lead in the world standings?
Okay, Alex in the front is not an easy match, but like it's going to be a long and very hot race, so a lot can happen.
Can Torrente weave his way back to the lead in this 48-lap race?
I think we're in a good shape and have a good race. Start 10th, which is not where you want to start, but it's not where we're going to finish. So it'll be a good race. It'll be a good time.
Carella starts from pole as he goes for a fourth win on the River Liu, with Eric Stark on his immediate inside, last year's pole and race winner Al Hamili in third. Marit Stromoy starts in fourth place for the first time since her win in Sharjah 2015. Sami Celio starts in 18th after that Q2 crash forces a boat and engine change, and Grant Trask also changing an engine and relegated to 19th. The countdown was on, drivers and teams pumped and ready for that all-important opening drag race to the commitment buoy. There they go, 19 boats storm off the pontoon, hitting speeds of 100 kilometers an hour as they lock horns on the starting straightaway. Bartek Marszalek lags behind as he's passed by Philip Roms on his left and Duarte Benavente to his right. Carella off to a solid start. Stromoy falls back as Shiap fights for fourth, with the field rounding the commitment buoy for a clean start to this 23rd Grand Prix in China. Torrente also has a good start, overhauling Mike Shimura to move up to 9th, setting his sights on Rashid Al-Khamzi, who started in a career-best 8th on the pontoon. Behind Shimura, Philip Roms of Mad Croc Baba makes an attempt at a pass on the inside, but the Emirates team driver shuts him out. That was a close call as the Finn contends with Shimura's spray. Despite a good start from 16th, Cedric Deguin is passed by Blaze Performance drivers Marszalek and Cantando, dropping the French driver down 2 slots. With the first lap completed, positions remain unchanged at the top. Philip Shiap goes all out on the inside to wrest 4th spot from a tenacious Stromoy, and Shiap does it, overtaking Stromoy to move into 4th. There's a duel between the two Blaze teammates, Cantando and Marszalek. Marszalek overhauling his teammate and setting his sights on Benavente up ahead as they go around the right-hander yellow buoy. Further back, Deguin continues to drop down the field as Celio comes up, moving up 2 spots, followed closely by Grant Trask, who moves up into 17th position behind the Finn. Out in the lead, Carella is notoriously difficult to dislodge once he's in pole, but Stark is working hard to stay within striking distance of the Italian. Behind them, Al Hamili gives chase in 3rd, with Shiap firmly entrenched in 4th spot ahead of Stromoy in 5th, with Anderson behind the Norwegian in 6th, followed by Harbin runner-up and former China Grand Prix winner Tani Al-Khamzi in 7th position. Torrente is in 8th ahead of Rashid Al-Khamzi in 9th, and CTIC driver Peter Morin is in 11th behind Mike Shimura. Celio has moved up to 16th, Trask right behind him, Maverick F1 teammates Deguin and Amari Jassom bringing up the rear. Duarte Benavente in 12th spot tries to sneak past Peter Morin on the inside, but Morin cuts in before the turn and holds the Portuguese veteran off to stay in 11th. But Benavente doesn't back down, keeping the pressure on Peter Morin as the Portuguese F1 Atlantic driver overhauls the CTIC driver in the next lap, moving him up a spot into 11th position. Behind Shiap, Stromoy and Anderson is a titanic battle unfolding for 7th between Tani Al-Khamzi and Sean Torrente. Torrente keeping a tight inside line and taking Al-Khamzi to move up into 7th in a Victory Dubai versus Team Abu Dhabi showdown. 4-time China Grand Prix winner Sami Celio gets lapped by Ahmed Al Hamili in 3rd as Al Hamili tries to fend off the Shiap threat coming up from behind him, with Marit Stromoy hot on Shiap's tail in 5th. With 12 laps down, Carella opens a comfortable lead over Eric Stark in 2nd place, but all his hard work is undone by a yellow flag due to a drifting buoy, and the bunch-up provides the chance Stark was looking for to have a shot at taking Carella on the restart. Can Stark do it? He may not have any opportunities better than this coming his way. This is where the radio man's job is crucial in directing and timing their driver's restart to hold off challengers and possibly overtake the boats they've been chasing so far. Green flag, the race is back on. Carella is on the ball, making no mistakes as he fends off Eric Stark's aggressive attack. Philipp Schiap has an exceptional restart as he nudges past Ahmed Al-Hamali on the outside, the Frenchman moving up a spot into third at the Victory Team driver's expense. But Al-Hamali's troubles are not over as Marit Stromoy also finds clear water on the outside to get within a boat's length of the Emirati, but Al-Hamali manages to hold on to fourth position with that inside line on the turn. Further back in the field, Philip Roms overshoots the turn and Bartek Marszalek is there to take advantage, the Polish Blaze Performance driver overhauling the young Finn. Up front, positions remain unchanged, with Torrente still piling the pressure on Anderson as they round the yellow buoy, with Tiny Al-Kamzi behind them. Torrente is very fast, he has the speed and the momentum, and he does it, passing Anderson on the turn, moving up a spot into sixth behind Marit Stromoy. With 22 laps down, Carella has opened his lead back up to almost 4 seconds over Stark, Schiap in third, then Al-Hamali, Stromoy and Torrente completing the top 6. It looks like another classic Torrente versus Stromoy showdown is unfolding for fourth spot as the American zeroes in on the Norwegian Emirates Racing Team driver. The gap slowly tightened between Al-Hamali, Stromoy and Torrente in this three-way battle for third spot as the race passes the halfway mark. Stromoy hot on Al-Hamali's heels as Scott Gilman urges Al-Hamali on. Up in the lead, Stark does everything in his power to stay in touch with Carella, trying not to let that gap widen in these hot and humid conditions with just 17 laps left to race. The first boat to retire from this race is number 10 Duarte Benavente of F1 Atlantic Team. Bad luck for the Portuguese driver. With just 11 laps left, Torrente moves up and goes neck and neck with Stromoy. Stromoy just manages to fend off the blue boat. Torrente is still right behind her, and he makes another attempt, cutting tight on the inside, but Stromoy is on her toes, once again defending successfully. Stromoy and Torrente's duel goes on for 2 laps as the two duck and weave in a classic skirmish until finally Torrente finds the outside speed to get past the Norwegian just before the right-hander. Torrente is up in 5th position, Stromoy bumped down to 6th. Disappointment for Stromoy as she falls back, losing speed, and eventually drops out of the race with technical problems on lap 40, just 8 laps before the end. Also out is Jonas Anderson, floating helplessly on the course. Out in the lead, Carella is just too good on the day, putting in a perfect race with just 7 laps left before he can claim his 14th Grand Prix title. Eric Stark continues to give chase in 2nd position, but the Swede must feel his chances have all but run out. Behind Stark, Schiap is still in 3rd, but he has more than 6 seconds to bridge if he's to catch Stark, but a podium is still good points for Schiap and CTIC. The final lap, Alex Carella looking to add a 4th career Grand Prix win in Liuzhou and a 2nd Grand Prix win of the year as he now sees the end in sight. Alex Carella is the 2017 Grand Prix of Liuzhou winner. The current world number 1 was flawless from start to finish, and it's a well-earned win for Team Abu Dhabi. Carella's face says it all. 48 laps of racing in a cockpit where temperatures reach 50 degrees Celsius. It's a Herculean effort from the Italian.
Starting to feel better now, but quite bad. But I'm happy for the race, but it's too hot.
Schiap looking none the worse for wear after racking up much-needed points.
Who is young?
Al-Hamali holds on for 4th. Torrente with much-needed points in 5th. Best ever result for Mike Shimura in 7th. Marszalek 8th. Roms and Cantando also earning points. Frustration for Celio, Stromoy and Anderson. Team Abu Dhabi opens a 29-point lead over 2nd place Team Sweden in the team championship standings, with Victory Team in 3rd ahead of CTIC F1 Shenzhen China team.
In the restart, I think Herman make a bad choice inside it. I can overtake him, but and I prefer get 3rd place for the championship. It's better to make a crash. Now we have no choice. We do win Abu Dhabi and Sharjah.
No, I pushed it like really hard the whole race, and like in the end, maybe the 5 last lap was really terrible. The head was starting to shut off, so it was one of my toughest races ever, I think.
Carella extends his lead atop the world standings to 16 points after round 4. Stark in second, 3 points up on Chiap in third, with Al Hamili on 30 points in fourth, and Celio slipping further down to fifth. Torrente struggling in seventh, Anderson back in 10th after that late breakdown.
Yeah, it was too much today. With this rot, it was incredible. Eric, he was fast since the first lap. After lap by lap, I was getting tired, and tired was almost all the time more difficult. But I can manage it. The boat was really easy to drive and really helped me to arrive at the end and take these important 20 points.
That concludes another spectacular Grand Prix of Liuzhou. See you in Abu Dhabi for round 5 of the UIM F1H2O World Powerboat Championship.